Hey Rebecca, okay, so here's your long shot, here is your vocational shot showing us your subject's vocation, your portrait, and then this. So what we're missing is a still life. And it looks like you're in a place where you could have had lots of really interesting still lifes, like even just like some of her personal tools, like, I don't know, she probably wears sunglasses, I guess. I was going to say gloves, but I guess she doesn't. She's wearing sunglasses. So if you even could have gotten her sunglasses and then put them next to anything here in this nursery, that would have been a great still life. Because it would have included her and like tied her into an intimate subject matter here. So let's see if I see any still lifes in here. Not really. I see a lot of action shots and a lot of long shots, but no still lifes. And I don't see 80 images in your contact sheets, actually. I'm seeing 60. Did you forget a contact sheet? So I get that. So I appreciate how hard you worked to try and photograph, one, somebody you didn't know in a situation that you've never been to before, and great, that's fantastic. And I like that you wanted to use your lighting equipment. Apparently you weren't able to. But what would have been incredibly helpful in this situation would have been to take your reflectors and your bounces, because you've got some really hard dark shadows going on in here that are compositionally problematic. And just putting a bounce under her, or like over here or down under here, would have been immensely helpful to soften these images a little bit and to make them a little bit less harsh. Like, you can imagine if you just had a bounce like over, somewhere over here out of frame, or even over here, this you could have added a lot of visual emphasis to her, and it really lightened up her face a little bit here. Instead of having this like really high 1:8 ratio going on, you could have had a much softer ratio and a lot more visual emphasis on your actual subject here. I think the long shot's great. Like, it shows us everything that we need to know. This is a nursery, and I think in all of these images, taking your bounces and your reflectors would have been really helpful. And even in this image, you could have shot through the reflector. You could have held the reflector up so that the sun was coming through it and wasn't casting such hard shadows on her. Same here. This is actually probably fine the way it is. You could have held a bounce underneath her to lighten up this, but that's, neither here nor there. So really we're just missing the still life. We've got a great long shot. We've got a great environmental shot. A great vocational shot showing us what she does, and we've got a really good portrait as well, showing us how fun and zany she is. And that's doing the same thing. That could be an environmental portrait as well. But we don't have a still life. So really, like, I think it was a good move to just go ahead and shoot everything outside and keep it consistent. I just think that taking your bounces and reflectors would have been really helpful, because yeah, sometimes you're in situations where you can't, or people are unwilling to let you use your electronic equipment. But those nylon bounces, they are just invaluable. Always take them anyways. Even if you don't think there's going to be a way to use it, always take those. If you can't take your lights, at least take that, because you can reflect different colors into people, you can reflect light back into them, you can soften shadow. You can't really soften shadows, but you certainly can add detail back into them. You know what I mean? I guess you can soften the shadows if you let the sun shine through if you have a big enough bounce, you can shoot the sun through it. But anyway, so that would be my advice. That's the only thing I would have had you do differently, and include a still life. Okay, but really, like, good job going all over and like dutifully pursuing this assignment. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Rebecca.